Heretic is written and directed by Scott Beck and Bryan, the guys behind The Boogeyman, Haunt, A Quiet Place, and 65. And this film is about two young religious women who are drawn into a game of cat and mouse in the house of a dangerous man. This movie's heavily being talked about as Hugh Grant doing a horror movie and an A24 horror movie to make it even better. And yeah, like if you watch the movie, you are immediately just taken by him. He is so likable and charismatic instantly, which is horrifying considering the things that his character is planning on doing and does do in the movie, which of course I won't get into, but he really is absolutely magnetic in this film. He brings all the things that he's brought to many of the more lighthearted films he's done in the past, the charm, the wit, but behind those glasses lurks a very compelling evil. During the course of this movie, I leaned over to my friend and I said, I have never been more jealous of a movie in my entire life. I really feel like this movie was somehow extracted from my brain and was made for me. I wasn't raised Mormon, as the two girls in this film are, but as a former Jehovah's Witness, I completely understand the notion of knocking on people's doors and occasionally was challenged quite often by people at the doorstep for my beliefs and was put in a situation, of course, not as extreme as the two girls are in this movie, but I 100% understand the idea of having to face off against someone when they're saying your belief system is corrupt or is wrong. But in my life now, I interestingly find myself more on the side of Hugh Grant's character, where I want to challenge those things that I never wanted to challenge when I was younger. And so I found myself conflicted with these characters in the best way. Obviously, I wish no harm on the two girls who visit his house, but I also found myself wanting him to say certain things that he does say and challenge them, which resulted in an emotionally rich horror experience. He uses quite a bit of real-world analogies, whether it be fast food or board games, to describe his problems with modern-day religion, and not just contemporary, but like through all of time. And he really tries to break down the ins and outs of how religions are formed and how they keep people in a box, which of course is expanded upon in this movie as well. And it's one of the best things that Beck and Woods have done here, because at its core, this is a chamber piece about a man challenging two girls about religion. But the theological debates that he's having and the points that he's trying to make are expanded upon by the actual house and the things that are physically happening to them. It is an absolutely brilliant structure, and I am, once again, extremely jealous of it. And I think it would have been easy to fall into the trap of just having Hugh Grant make a lot of great points over and over again and absolutely destroy these two girls' faith. But they challenge him as well, and that is where the film gets extremely investing. I don't know if people will appreciate the film to the level that I did, because I spent a large portion of my life getting into theological debates with people at their doorsteps. And I'm really glad that portion of my life is over. But at the same time, watching this film from this perspective and the fact that it was made with such care and visual brilliance, it was one of my favorite experiences in the theater this year. And at the end of the film, it does make a very horrifying point about most religions. In fact, pretty much all of them. And even if you are a member of one of the religions the film is dissecting, it's difficult to not understand where this character is coming from, which, again, I've mentioned this many times over the years. The best villains in movies are the ones where you kind of understand exactly what they're doing, what their goals are, and why they think what they're doing is right. And despite how good Hugh Grant is in the movie, I also want to give it to Sophie Thatcher and Chloe East, who are both magnificent and who go toe-to-toe with him beautifully. Heretic is a film you've got to check out in theaters, especially if you're a fan of horror movies. But it's also a film that is completely dialogue-driven. There are like 25-page long scenes of just talking. It's not something you see ever anymore, especially at this level and this many theaters. It's very inspiring. Check it out, guys. Thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward to more videos very soon. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.